What's going on? We back, Motor City Sports Talk. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We in the building, and speaking on Lorenzo Carter, linebacker, Georgia Bulldogs, almost had a national championship. He's 6'6", about 240, 250, running a 4.5. Definitely got a slight build. You hear more about Raekwon Smith, and he's definitely somebody to look at. Chicago, some people looking at him in the second, third round of Chicago to match him up with other Bulldog, Leonard Floyd. He's in the same frame as him. Dynamic pass rusher, outside linebacker, 3'4", 4'3". And I think he fit the bill for the Lions as well. Some people have him creeping up in the first round. Probably can get him in the second. Or possibly, I think it's no more third round. His athletic ability, his height and range, and ability to be a 3'4" linebacker, outside linebacker, and a 4'3". His potential to be able to cover. He could play the run a little bit. His weakness is more of a downhill running game. He don't have a build yet. I think he can build on that frame and put the muscle on to be a stout run stopper. But right now, he's a guy that's to go sideline to sideline or from the 3-4 edge rusher. He can get off and rush the passer and play the run pretty good for the weight that's on his frame, And a lot of people aren't happy with my selections for the NFL draft spotlight. I'm not going to be up here doing Baker Mayfield or doing Lamar Jackson or doing Saquon Barkley or Raekwon Smith and guys of that nature, Calvin Ridley, when, for one, it's not in our reach for the Lions. So I only can do players that we possibly can get realistically unless the Lions truly trade up and get them. So I'm being realistic into the players that I'm picking and none of that fantasy dream crap, you know what I'm saying? So I only can be realistic in what I'm putting out there, So a lot of these players, why am I doing players that, you guys already know and already done? So I'll get into the linebackers and the fun stuff. I'm in the running backs, the more the linebackers, the edge rushers, some of the DBs, later on. But right now, we just starting this up. We got a long way to go. And Lorenzo Carter is a good player, and I think he's a good fit for the Lions at some point, because they want to run a hybrid 3-4 or 4-3. He a guy that could play either or. He might come in and be the best linebacker we got other than Jared Davis. And I think he might have the best potential. You got a guy that's 6'6", who can rush the edge. If you need him to put his hand in the dirt, he can do that for the Lions on pass rushing, situational downs. You got a guy that can cover from the 3-4, and can make tackles sideline to sideline. I mean, if you can get a guy of this talent in the second or the end of the first and you think you can develop him, I like it. I like what he bringing to the table, man. I like the versatility. I like the edge rushing. And one thing you got to remember, we lacking rushers, elite rushers. Fast twitchy rushers. We only got one fast twitchy rusher, and he a little bit hurt in Ziggy Ansah. We need that dude that can just get off. And Lorenzo Carter can get off and provide coverage and can develop into the linebacker that we need. You put him with Jerry Davis, any other bum can play the other side. Because more times than none, that most teams are playing that three receivers, that nickel. Most defense got to play nickel all the time because they playing with three receivers. When a guy's 6'6" and you can really develop his cover skills, you can put him on linebacker, you can put him on running backs, you can put him on tight ends. I mean, 6'6" with that length, that's crazy. That's real crazy. And Lorenzo Carter is somebody y'all should look at. I'll leave the highlights in the description for him, so you can check that out. Most people say, "Oh, the picture slide. Why you can't do the highlights, man?" I don't have copyright to them videos. As soon as I put somebody's video up, or it couldn't even be their video. As soon as you put the video up, or the highlights or something like that, somebody hit you with a copyright, and 3 strikes, you out. Your page get banned and locked up. And I already went through the strike phase where I got 1 strike before for a false flag. Got 2 more strikes for 2 more false flags, and they took them away, but still. I like my community rating to be in the green, to be in the good, the go, not be in the yellow, not be in the orange, not be in the red. So I won't risk it. I mean, you can look at the highlights for yourself and pull them up, but I put the highlights in the description, so you can check them out and see what he brings to the table. But more times than none, I kind of want to bring more the draft spotlights on players that we need in position and about your guys that you might not know of. I get, closer to the draft, or I mix in more players that you know of. I got another one coming today where more guys are high on this guy that's coming and more guys are familiar with him. But you got to mix in the unknown or the little known guys as well, too, because, those are the ones that pop up and be stars. So, you never can please everybody. It's a yin and yang thing. But Lorenzo Carter, I like him. Could he be a full-on 4-3 out defensive lineman? I don't know. I don't think he got the weight on to be that. But I think he can be a potential dominant situational linebacker, especially in rush situations. And his versatility when he get better at coverage. At 6'6" is going to be a wrap. Raekwon Smith is 6'1". This guy physically, if he get in the weight room and put weight on, he going to be dominant. He was a 5-star recruit. He didn't develop like people thought he was. But when you playing on a talented, Georgia roster, like it is going to get more talented athlete league too, people tend to forget about you. You get lost in the sauce. But check out the homie Lorenzo Carter. Shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs. Shout out to the Motor City family. We gone.